Good morning! Well, you may have watched the video where I replaced the planter around the outside of my greenhouse here with these sleepers. Well, at the time of that video, I actually ordered an extra sleeper because I was planning on replacing this bench here. Well, we're now over a year later and I'm finally getting round to it. So the existing bench is quite simple. We've literally got a plank like that, which is 1.8 metres long. We then have two blocks that stick down into the ground like that, and they are spaced out 1 metre apart from roughly the centre of those. I mean, all of this can be changed, it doesn't have to be the same, but if I use those rough dimensions, it will fit in the space quite nicely. The thing is, I've got sleepers. At the moment, that top is probably about 2 inches thick. If I use a sleeper, that's 4 inches thick, and I've got plants that stick out from underneath it. And I want to give the plants a little bit more room. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and make this a little bit more decorative. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. But basically what I'm thinking is with the top section, rather than going for the full depth, I'm going to make a bit of a curve like that. So yeah, going to have to work out how to do that, but I'm thinking that will look quite nice. So first thing to do is get the sleeper in here and work out how I'm going to do that curve. Right, well that's the pieces cut to size, and unfortunately it has caused me a slight dilemma. So while I was cutting through, because the circular saw is not big enough to cut through it all in one go, I had to cut through from both sides. And unfortunately that line didn't line up. I ended up with an uneven end on the sleeper. Now I've managed to recover it, I managed to use a planer and get it all nice and smooth, but it's sort of given me the realisation of the ideas I have in my head and what I'm able to do are different, no surprise there. But basically I'm thinking, although I might be able to cut out the material like I'm thinking, it's going to create so much mess, it's going to take me so long to do it. At the end of it, I don't think I'm going to like it. I'm going to be annoyed with it, even if it looks okay. So yeah, basically I'm thinking I'm going to simplify the design. I'm making it up as I go along, so there's no surprise there. But I don't know what this is going to end up looking like, but it's not going to be anything like that picture. So yeah, I'm going to just start cutting into this and just make it up as we go along. So enjoy the journey. Right, well I think that's all the cuts I needed to do. Now I'm not entirely satisfied with the bench as it is at the moment, but to be honest I don't think it's finished yet. It's looking a lot more artistic than just a couple of planks screwed together, but I'm thinking the main thing that's bringing it down at the moment is the fact that it still looks like rough sawn timber. So I'm thinking I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon giving this a good sand down, and there's not a lot to see when you do that, so I'm going to turn the camera off and I shall pick this up when I'm finished. Hopefully I'll be a bit happy with it then. Right, well the bench is all sanded down. I've given it a coat of wood preserver and it's looking good. So the next thing to do is take this old bench out and dig the holes a little deeper, so I'm ready to put the new one in. Well, there we go, that is the bench in place and finished. Now obviously it's not as artistic as I would have liked, but I am happy with the result. So with the chamfer on the bottom of it there, that means that you look from this angle and it looks like a thin board, but you've still got the strength of the thickness of the full sleeper. But it also means that you've got plenty of space there for the plants to grow. And we've got oregano growing underneath the front there, so when you sit on the bench, you rub your legs up against them, you end up with a nice smell, which is excellent. Now I've also put a nice chamfer on the top here just to make it look a bit smarter, and it certainly looks a lot better than just screwing a couple of sleepers together. So I'm pleased with how this project's turned out. I'm hoping over the next couple of years it'll fit out and it'll look even better still. I'm expecting this bench to last between 5 and 10 years, and obviously at that point I might have the skills to be able to do the bench design that I was thinking of. But for now, I'm certainly happy with this. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've left it a like. And for now, I shall see you later.